Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening, all around the world and XRP. As we can see here from CoinMarketCap, XRP 20 cents. It looks like everything else is mostly red as well, maybe a few greens here and there. If we go to J9 Dalton's tweet, it has come back inside the triangle. Very bullish. Stay tuned. Back inside this triangle. Look, it went all the way up. It crashed all the way back down. We came back down to this triangle. Let's see what happens. But guys, today's video is very interesting. There's so much things happening around the world as we speak. Now, before we jump into the news, I'd like to state I'm not a financial advisor, nor this financial advice is just for entertaining value only. We can see here from Buttfox, XRP, you got 10 days to accumulate before warn. So 10 days, guys. The next tweet we got is from Boy XRP. Let's watch this video.
We believe that for the global economy to actually function well, it needs to be able to rely on a more open, more stable, more transparent, more predictable, and rules-based international trade system.
If we have the right policies and incentives, we can then create the momentum for the tremendous liquidity we have in the world that is sitting idle.
There is a proposal by the IMF to turn the SDR into the reserve currency per se. I'm kind of against it because the IMF is, to me, a very questionable organization. It has been bribed before.
And as such, it will be essential for the US and all its trading partners.
In fact, unfair trade is perhaps the single biggest reason that I decided to run for president.
Including the likes of China, Mexico, and others, to agree on a new system.
But unlike so many who came before me, I keep my promises. We did our job.
To agree to eliminate the distortions that put a brake on growth.
Today, I urge other nations to follow our example and liberate your citizens from the crushing weight of bureaucracy. With that, you have to run your own countries the way you want.
I feel like we are very close to see, XRP just skyrocketing, as well the whole crypto space. This comes from David Schwartz. This was all the way back from 2019, October 28th. Fortunately, our grocery store is open. Is that a prediction, guys? All the way back then. You see how there's so many people preparing for this thing right here. But quite interesting. Next week comes from Ripple. All the doubters should maybe just go look at RippleNet on Google Maps and tell me that this isn't the start of something big. And what's this little surprise? Hello, JP. Look at that, guys. So RippleNet, JP Morgan. We can see the locations right there. Quite interesting. XRP store prices are irrational and manipulated. Let's watch this video.
The price of XRP and the success of Ripple.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any, which is kind of a strange thing. It's very hard to understand the way prices behave. I think what's happening right now is at least the market doesn't seem to distinguish very much between the attributes of particular projects. It seems like they're sort of betting on the space as a whole. But it's also possible that prices are completely irrational and manipulated. I don't know, and it's kind of frustrating that I think anyone who tells you they know is lying. It's great when like amateurs will tell you, hey, I understand exactly what's going on, here's my thesis, and the experts will tell you we have no idea what's going on. But there are a lot of spaces where if I knew, I'd be rich, right? Like I would just be able to bet on the winners or predict the way the news is going to affect the price. I'm constantly surprised by market behavior, so I don't pretend to know.
But do you think in the long term that the intrinsic value of XRP should be tied to the success of Ripple, or can they be completely independent?
I would expect it to tie to the success of the ecosystem, which would include projects like Ripple and Forte and Coil. But I don't know how rational that expectation is, or whether the price follows rational expectations. It's quite difficult to tell. Again, at least for the last year or so, the performance of every major cryptocurrency doesn't seem to relate. An interesting point is like the only events that have been proven to be correlated with the price of cryptocurrencies is exchanges. So like there used to be the Coinbase effect, like when Coinbase would list a cryptocurrency, you would see a huge spike in its price. And then you would see team news, whether it comes from things that Ripple are doing or things that Consensus is doing or other major projects, and there's no movement in the price. So Either people think exchanges are like the gatekeepers of success of the ecosystem, or the prices are irrational. I honestly, I don't know. It's bad. I wish I did. Like, it's something that we look at and try to understand, and we basically keep throwing our hands up. It's actually pretty frustrating to not understand, you know, a marketplace that these projects are not dependent on the prices of their tokens. It's not like, you know, Ethereum fails if the price of Ether goes down, or XRP is a failure, or a success if the price goes up or down. That isn't really about, like, does it produce a product that meets a use case? But it definitely feels like a success metric to people in the space, and it kind of feels demoralizing when the price goes down, and it feels good when the price goes up. So I wish we did understand.
There you go, guys. Prices are irrational and manipulated. Comes from Pison. Nobody notice, nobody cares until it's too late. Let's watch this video.
There's no rule that says just because it's been 10 years or 12 years, it has to end, except for the fact that the debts worldwide are building up. Now, Daniela, the way these things have always worked, in 2007, Iceland went bankrupt. Well, most people had no clue about that and didn't know or care. And then later, though, Ireland went bankrupt. Few more people noticed. A little while later after that, Bear Stearns went bankrupt. Few more people started noticing. A few weeks later, Northern Rock went bankrupt. So then people started catching on. Eventually, Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, and by then it was on the evening news all over the world, and everybody knew that there was a problem. Bear markets always work that way. They start where nobody's looking, and a few months or whatever later, everybody catches on. It's already started. We're having problems in some places now where nobody notices. Nobody cares if Latvia went bankrupt. Nobody cares if Turkey's collapsing, Venezuela, some Indian banks. You know, people don't notice or care because they're not significant. But eventually, we're all going to notice and we're all going to care. Of course, then it's too late.
Eventually, we're all going to notice, but then it's too late. Guys, we are very close. It's all happening in front of our eyes. This comes from Happy XRP. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Wow, this is amazing, guys. Look at this. They can't find liquidity. I have yet to find liquidity. Liquidity, guys. Liquidity, liquidity. XRP. We are very close, guys. Next week comes from J9 Delton. India, Germany, France, and then the United States. The Currency Act of 2020 has been introduced today. This bill aims to choreograph an assortment of digital assets to answer the appropriate regulator. So, guys, a new bill. Look at that. Cryptocurrency Act of 2020 has been introduced. It's happening right in front of our eyes once again, guys. From Crypto Boss, what did he just say? XRP. Let's watch this video.
There's a 100% chance of a 75 basis point cut in short-term interest rates. The Fed is injecting cash vigorously into the banks. We hear $100 billion. There may be an announcement coming up of some kind of short-term targeting of vulnerable groups of people or industries or companies. Do you think all of this helps?
It helps, but it's hardly enough. Interest rate cuts don't help with a supply chain problem with people social distancing and all that. What we need to do is put cash in people's pockets. As you know, I've advocated an electronic currency so the Fed can do that. We don't have it, but I'm really not with Kudlow on this thing.
Look at all the red that's happening. The Dow down. I'm pretty sure oil went down today like 30% or something like that as well. So much is happening today. Now, guys, we're into the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. So, this video comes from Mo Othman. I'll leave all these links down in the description below so you guys can investigate further as well. But look what he says. It's quite interesting, guys.
Don't respect it, and scientists are so preoccupied on whether they could do something, they never think about whether they should do something. During the period that the stock market is closed, you're going to start seeing cryptocurrencies rallying. They're going to pump, they're going to go into astronomical numbers, they're going to be making, a lot of people are going to be making a lot of money on cryptocurrency when the stock market closes, because when the stock market closes, people are going to take their money and they want to invest it into something that they could invest in because the stock market is closed, and they will look into cryptocurrency, things like Bitcoin, etc.
So there you go, guys, a stock market close. And then cryptocurrencies in general just skyrocket. So what's going to happen, in a couple weeks? I'm pretty sure he said a couple weeks in one of his other videos that, the stock market will close and then this event will take place. It's going to be a crazy upcoming month as well. Remember, April. Don't forget about April, guys. Next week comes from Reborn. They at least want their plans to be done at least by April 2020. This includes digital economy, XRP the standard, reset. A big few weeks ahead, guys. Again, 2020. Look at that, guys. At least by April 2020. Get ready, guys. Next week comes from XRP Brainstorm. Keep your eye on the prize. Nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. Another QAnon XRP connection. Now look at this, guys. First prize. History books. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. History books. Look at that. History books. XRP the Storm. First prize. Actually from Maddie Greenspan. This passage from a book published in 2008. Look at this, guys. In around 2020, a severe illness will spread throughout the globe. You guys can pause and read this paragraph right here, but this is very interesting. Published in 2008. This comes from QSR Rap. And in the end, the sun will always rise. Remember, guys, the storm, then the sun will always rise. Next one comes from Baba Cook's Eyes Open. Do you see what's happening right in front of you? Everything is impossible till it happens. Look at that, guys. 2019 economy is great. 2020 global crash. Global crisis equals global solution. Introduce new financial system to the world. Save the world. Look at that. Everything's planned, guys. Everything is planned. Now the final tweet comes from Mr. Pool. %VL%. Let's watch this video. Go down here, Jane and Delton, 55%. And some other people were trying to decode it as well. But guys, there's so much happening around the world as we speak. There's so many events coming and planned ahead of time. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And yeah, guys, see ya.